Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to show you how you can take a regular coloring image, a coloring page image from Google, and give it some color. And I'm going to show you that by using the hat that I use for my my Dr. Seuss shirts. So in order to get color, to get the red stripes into this coloring sheet image right here, there are several things that's going to have to take place. All right, the first thing is you're going to have to, and again, I am working in Silhouette Studio. That is my software. So this is for those who may not know how to do this, so just give them a little quick one-on-one. Okay, so first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go to my trace panel. All right, so once I'm in my trace panel, I'm going to go ahead and trace this entire image, and there are several different at least 3 different things you can do for tracing. But first, what I need to do is I need to raise my threshold or my value up so that this entire image can become yellow. Once I do that, then I have here, it says trace, where I can trace all the little parts that's inside of the hat, or I can trace just the outside, or I can trace it and detach it, like just pull it apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the entire thing, and I can move my original out of the way. All right. So now what I have here is I have my image, and I can go ahead and try to give it some color, but it's going to just be like this original here, just like the coloring sheet image all over again. So what I have to do is I have to go ahead and go to my object panel, and I'm going to release the compound pad. Releasing the compound pad simply means that all of this is together. It's not that it's grouped, because I didn't group it, so I can't ungroup it. So what I have to do is go to the object panel, and I'm going to release the compound pad. All right, so releasing the compound pad, what that does is, as you can see, these little gray boxes around all of these little parts inside of this hat, I just released it. I just broke it up. All right, so that's going to allow us to be able to touch each individual part to give it some color. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my backing. All right, and my backing, which is going to be black, so go ahead and make that black. All right, so now it's time for us to give color to the stripes here, but really just the 3 red stripes. All right, starting with the top stripe, which is going to be red, so if I click it on, see, I'm clicking on just that part, just the top stripe, and let's go ahead and make it red. All right, well, there are some other little parts that's inside here that needs to be able to have an opening, like this little white opening here, because once the black gets behind it, it needs to be able to show through. So let's go back. And see, there's a little piece right here. What you're going to have to do with this is you're going to have to subtract it out. You're going to have to take it out of this first little stripe here. So while you have that little piece selected, select the rest of that stripe and go back to your object panel, and you're going to modify and subtract. All right, so you didn't see it move nowhere or whatever, but what happened was you now have an opening so that you can see through to the other side of this back. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it red, and so you see the little opening right there. All right, so our next stripe here is the white stripe, right? It's the white. Again, there's a little piece right here. I'm going to have to subtract it out of this stripe in order for it to show in the background. All right, so I'm going to select that little piece along with the whole stripe, go back to my modify panel and subtract, and that took care of that. All right, so as you see, we have, you know, we're basically just putting the stripes together how they need to be. All right. Let me go ahead and turn this stripe white. Now down to our next stripe, which is going to be red. There's a little piece right here, this little circle, this little dot. And some of these little pieces, it may not matter, but if you want the grunge like effect to the hat, you will want to keep it so it, you know, so the hat can still look distressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this little piece here along with the rest of the stripe, and I'm doing the same thing again, modify, then I'm going to go ahead and subtract. All right, so now I could go ahead and turn that stripe red, and you can see the little opening right there. All right, next thing we have is our next stripe, which is going to be white. So all I got to do is simply turn that one white. All right, so let's see so far what we're looking like. All right, so now here on our last stripe, which is going to be red, go ahead and turn that red, and the brim of the hat is going to remain white. All right, so this is our hat. Let me turn the bottom part white. Move this out of the way. Give that a white color. And there we go. All right. Now, in order to size this hat to the size that you want it, remember, now it's time for us to go ahead and group so that our pieces won't move, you know, won't move all over, you know, all over the computer screen. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my red pieces, and I'm going to group. So now they're just one. Now I'm going to select my white pieces and group. All right, so now that is one piece. All right, so now I'm going to group them together. Group the white is already selected. Now I'm going to select the red, and I'm going to group. So now it's all together in one spot. So now I can go ahead and bring my black background here, and then we're going to group the black along with the red and white, and now we have one functional piece. All right, and so that's how you can change a regular coloring page image to put some color in it, so that way when you get ready to print it out, you're gonna go ahead, not print it, when you get ready to cut it out, you're gonna cut it out on your separate vinyls, red, white, and black, and piece it together once you put it on your shirt. All right, I hope that helps.